This video is for those who are looking to learn how to lose fat correctly. Okay, very important. And we're going to cover exactly how to do that in today's Monday Lunch Live. So, first and foremost, my name is Ryan Sanders. I'm owner of Project Fresh. And for over 13 years, I've been helping people take control of their health, optimize performance, and build sustainable habits that stick. As a certified strength and conditioning specialist and certified sports nutrition coach, I've worked with everyone from busy professionals to athletes, coaching them through the science and real world challenges of fitness and nutrition. So here I share the stories, the lessons, and strategies. We're all about really actually more systems, I should say systems, that make long-term wellness stick. All right. And that's what we want to do, is provide you a plan that sticks, so that when you work with us, this is the very last time you need to coach or hire a coach. The things that we teach here are intended to go with you for the long term. So when I was going to Northwestern as a civil engineer, I was learning science, tech, engineering, math skills, soft skills, hard skills, all those different things to take with me into my career, with expectations that I would be what I became, a project manager, and carry that out through my career. Now, of course, after 5 years, I've switched into this, and now I do this. So I've learned and trained in skills and ways, and had hundreds of clients who have lost weight, gotten stronger, improved joint ability, improved in their sleep, their energy, their digestion, all these different things. And those habits are developing into skills which you can take with you throughout the rest of the life, just the same as whatever it would be for, say, your work or interpersonal relationship or anything else, right? So that's the whole point of what we do here. And today I wanted to talk about how to lose fat correctly. The first one we're going to talk about is one way that you don't lose weight. Well, I've seen it so many times with body scans, doing compositional body scans where you're looking at fat mass, muscle mass, bone density, water levels, all kinds of different things. And I've seen this happen time and time again in the first one. But before I do that, I just want to say what motivated this is that my wife and I are going to take the fall season that we've just stepped into last week. Happy fall, by the way. The colors are changing here in Colorado, and it's beautiful. So we enjoy these very short moments of fall because it's very quick before the snow comes. Usually at the end of October, roughly, is when the snow comes. So we're down to about a month until we're facing snow here in our area. So we'll see how that goes this year. What we're going to do is a fall shred. My wife and I, probably about 6 weeks. So that'll end up finishing roughly around Thanksgiving time. She's got a competition at the end of October, but she's going to be working on cutting weight for while we train. Me, I just want to be less than, I think I'm around 14, 15%. I'd like to be closer to the 10, 12 range. I just feel a lot better there. I haven't decided if I want to compete or not in Olympic weightlifting, but I am enjoying my progressions and seeing my moves get cleaner and better. So we'll see. I'd like to be able to keep doing those same weights at a lower body mass. That is a more efficient body in training, and it would be the same in competition. Lower body mass, higher weights, be more competitive. But anyway, we're going to be doing that for over 6 weeks. And so I'll just share this with you guys. I'll mention it again at the end of the call. We're going to be testing a new app that we haven't used before that tracks everything from your fitness to your nutrition to goals to planning and so much more. It's a new app. We don't know all the functionality, but it appears to be a lot better than the one we're currently using. So if you're interested in joining us in our fall shred, which usually is around $600, I'm not charging anybody who joins us. If you agree to, one, use the app, two, you agree to be consistent with us throughout, so you're showing up for workouts, checking calls, all those things. And three, you agree to, if you have results, you believe you can do so with 100% integrity, give us a review, and not only in the challenge, but you also give us a review on how the app worked, what your thoughts were, what you liked, what you didn't like, any areas of improvement. If you do those three things, you get it for free. Otherwise, you know that you'll pay $600. So That being said, it's 6 weeks. The number one thing you do not want to do in losing fat correctly is increase your activity and decrease how much you eat at the same time, and especially go to the extremes. Now, oftentimes, and this can be ladies, this can be gents, we'll see that there will be a high increase in activity. So we'll start working out. We'll go to bar, or we'll go to Les Mills Pump or Combat or some kind of group fitness, F45, Orange Theory, whatever it is. And so we're going 3 times a week. We're trying to hit those 10,000 steps a day. And we've really just jumped up our activity, our exercise and our activity. All the while, well, I guess if I want to lose weight, I need to eat less. So now you go from eating, a really big dinner and a moderate lunch and maybe breakfast, maybe a snack in there. So now you're eating like less for dinner and lunch hasn't changed, right? So, I need to stop eating so much at night. And so I reduce how much I eat. Maybe I throw a salad in there, which is probably going to be less calories, depending on how big your salad is, what you put in it. And so now you've got this very large calorie gap. Now, usually you do not want to eat anything lower than what your ideal calorie load would be. Now, we're not going to talk about how to find that number. You want to go look it up for yourself. TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, is a good place to start. You want to get into the numbers, but that usually happens. And so what happens is we see people weigh in day 0 and weigh in day 30, and they've definitely lost weight. They're noticing that they're leaner, that they have maybe a little bit more energy, that they're glowing a little bit better. And those are all great things. By no means are those bad things. But when we look at the breakdown of the composition, we see that not only have they lost body fat, but they've also lost muscle tissue. Now, if you've been with us before, you've been on this channel, you know that we do not want to lose muscle tissue. There are so many different things about muscle tissue that's important, from increasing the number of cells that are going to work in our favor, to recycling cells, to managing blood sugar, those energy stores in the muscle tissue, to increasing our metabolism, to helping us with sleep, that serotonin, melatonin cycle. There's so many different things about fitness and having muscle tissue that's important. And that's not just for today, that's also for down the road, longevity, both lifespan and the quality of your health, which we call health span. Muscle tissue is, as a few doctors are now saying, the number one thing that's going to help us fight all of those all-cause mortalities that we could experience down the road, right? If your muscle tissue is healthier, you have a better chance of fighting against cancer and other diseases, for example. So muscle tissue is very key, and we don't want to lose it. However, that happens often. Increase in activity, decrease in food, and all of a sudden we're in trouble. So that's number one. Do not recommend that at all. Number two, and here's the thing, this sounds very subtle. This almost sounds exactly the same. But what we start with is getting in the right amount of calories. And if you are going to lose fat, we do need to eat at a deficit. So let's say we get a number, you're 2,500 calories, and we want to train at a deficit. That means we're probably going to start with maybe 300 calories less than that. So 2,300, 2,200, and see how your body responds. All the while, we're going to emphasize protein, 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal weight. So that means if you're 150, that's going to be about 120 grams of protein to 150 grams per day. Okay, again, that's, well, if your 150 is your ideal weight, let's say you're starting at 130, and that would be your number. Now, if you're at 150, it will be less, obviously. So calories and protein, and that's it. Carbs and fats we'll take care of along the way. I just want you to focus on what you can add. We get into this psychology of taking away. It drives the mind crazy. It drives the psychology crazy, especially if you're used to using food to help with stress. That just is a nightmare. So I have people focus on, let's get what your body needs in first, and we'll work on the rest later. And then we're getting 3 strength training days in a week minimum, and filling in the rest with our favorite activities. So if you like to bike, hike, swim, jog, you're a triathloner, you are part of the craze of pickleball around the world, where pickleball is all the rave, right, and rage. Whatever it is that you like to do, we're getting those in. Obviously, it's getting colder. If you're in any of the states that are or areas that are getting colder right now in the northern hemisphere, then chances are you're going to be going inside. But we want to get those activities going, a little bit of recovery here or there. But the key is like we focus on protein, we're focusing on strength training specifically to challenge the muscle and grow. And as we do that, we will see a natural thinning of the body. For guys, we really start to see tangible results 9 to 11 weeks in. For the gals, we really start to see tangible results about 13, 14 weeks in, somewhere in that range, as sooner as possible. I've seen my wife change over some amazing results in 3 weeks. So it is possible. Now, as we get into our 30s and 40s, that can change. That process can slow down. It cannot be as quick of a return, which is totally fine. Even in the course of our early 30s to our mid 30s, we've seen a little bit of a slowdown. As we go into the shred, my wife and I are going to see how long it takes our bodies to shift and shred and lean and get back to those, six packs and maybe a little bit more vascularity, those kinds of things. So we're playing with it ourselves as we get into our 30s deeper and deeper. Let's see. And so that one is very simple, straightforward. It's easy to add, especially if you have a very busy schedule, okay, in your work life, family life, whatever else it may be. And that is number 2. Now, before I get to number 3, I want you to write something down. If this is something you want to do, you're going to commit to either 2 or 3, and you're going to also go ahead and drop it in our chat today and let us know, okay? So go ahead and write that down. Please, at the very most, feel like, Ryan, I'm not doing this. This isn't for me right now. The holidays are already as stressful as it is, and I don't think I could add anything else to my plate. Totally cool. That's fine. I want you to drop that in the chat and let us know. We're here for you in any season, right? There are certain seasons where this just doesn't make sense to do this, whatever the circumstances may be. Totally get it. I know that free doesn't necessarily mean anything if time, availability, stress, or other is not there. Now, you can always save this. Please save this video and come back to it later and connect with us. This will always be here on YouTube unless YouTube changes in the future. All right. So number 3 is a little bit more specific. Now, I've talked about this on the channel before, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We're a little bit deeper into this call than I usually intend, but this is really important. The hierarchy of what we focus on in the context of nutrition is first, how many calories, which we covered in 2. Second, how we start to break down those calories. So commonly referred to as macronutrients, right? Proteins, carbs, and fats. So I only talked about that first one, which is by far the most important one. We cannot store protein in the body. It either is used up or converted to energy if it's not all used. And that is something we need to replenish daily. So you can cycle your carbs, you can adjust your fats. I wouldn't change fats too much because they're key for a lot of different reasons. But protein, we need to hit every single day. Now, number 3 is the timing of what we eat. And I bet you, if you've done this before, if you've had a friend do it, family member, you're like, oh, Ryan, is that fasting? Is that keto thing? Is that what you're talking about? Kind of, yes. So timing of your food is really important. We have 2 states that we're generally in. A fasted state, meaning we haven't eaten for a period of time, which if you know the origin of the word breakfast, it is break fast is what breakfast is. So that first meal of the day is to break the fast, meaning if you went to bed at 8 and you woke up at 6, that's 10 hours of sleep? Yeah, that sounds great. You wake up at 6, you haven't eaten for 10 hours. Let's say you eat at 8, you've got 2 hours of morning routine, whatever it is, get the kids ready for school, get ready for work, whatever it may be. And you eat at 8, that means that you haven't eaten for 12 hours. That is effectively a 12-hour fast window. So when you switch gears and you go into eating, you are now in what we call a feast window. You're in an eating window, okay? Now, feast is a fun word. It's alliteration. We've got fast and feast, so it makes it easier to remember. You can call it whatever you want, but if you like that, go ahead and use it. I didn't make that up myself. I picked it up from others I learned from when I did this. And so that is the period of time with which you are eating. So let's say you eat from 8 to 8, so now you're on 12. Now you've got a 12-hour 1-2 feast window, or excuse me, fast window, and you've got a 12-hour feast window. So if you ever hear anybody say, I eat on a 12-12, that's literally what they mean. So what I like to do for myself, what's worked well over the past, and it'll adapt in the future if it doesn't work well. That's the cool thing about this is as you move through your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, as you hopefully keep a regular connection with a preventative healthcare specialist, your PCP, your doctor, your primary care physician, you're having these conversations where it may be better to make adjustments. If things change, obviously you want to change this methodology as well. But very short and simple. You want to get right to it. For me, I like to start at 12, which right after I get off this call, I'm going to go down and sit and have some lunch with my wife. That'll be my first meal. After that digest, I'm going to do my workout, and then I'll finish out the rest of my food till 8. Once 8 p.m. hits, I'm done for the day. That gives me at least an hour to digest some of that food so I can rest comfortably. I don't feel like I have a big old, meal resting in my stomach, kind of discomfort right before I go to bed. Eating late does not cause you to gain fat. That's a myth. That doesn't count, or that's not true. But your timing of your food is important for other factors like being able to rest without having to try to digest your food at the same time. That's usually not fun, right? So that's usually my go-to. I'll eat from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then I'll fast the rest of the time. I've liked to use a 40-hour fast in the past. From Friday evening, that meal, dinner date with the missus, we wrap it up about 8, and then I'll fast all the way until 12 p.m. Sunday, and that gives me about 40 hours. Saturday evening is really tough. Sunday morning, mental clarity on point. I feel great. Body, mind, everything is connected. Great time to go to church service as well. Hear a message from the Word of God, pray, dial it in for the start of the week. And by the time that first meal rolls around 12 o'clock, it is a fantastic time to get into that next meal. That is going beyond, if you know anything about ketones, and you want to research this on your own time, because I'm going to wrap up this call. That's beyond ketones, where you get into or ketosis, which is a process the body endures when you fast for a period of time. And that gets you into what's called autophagy. That usually starts around, I believe it's 16 to 18 hours of fasted time. Of course, getting into 40 hours gets beyond that, double. But check out autophagy, AUTOPHAGY. Really cool process the body gets into. I've known people to go into 3 to 5 day fast. I think for me, that's way too long. And I think if you did do something like that, maybe once a quarter would be ideal. I'm doing the 40-hour fast. Generally, once a week, probably for the next 3 weekends, I'll do it. And then on the last weekend of October, when my wife does her competition, I won't, because I want to be on point for her as a coach. And we'll probably want to go out and get some food afterwards, as another time to celebrate, to review what she did, and, kind of enjoy the moment, right? So those are very important in lifestyle too. We're not all about staying on plan. You got to have those times to enjoy yourself. So that's number 3, where you have set windows of time to eat and set windows of time to fast. Now, do your calories and protein goals change? I think that's the number one issue with fasting that people don't realize is that, I have a smaller window to eat, so that means I guess I'll eat less. No, you want to eat the same in a shorter period of time. And that's why it's so important is that for me, I'm doing an 8-hour window, which means I have 16 hours of fasting. You guys might remember where I said 16 to 18 is where autophagy kicks in. I'm just getting into that window where ketosis has already kicked in. Autophagy is just starting before I hit that first meal. I would generally eat before I train because I'm doing Olympic weightlifting. If I'm not doing something so heavy, then I'll probably do fasted workout. My wife and I are probably going to pick up a program we did called Combat that we love. It's a culmination of 6 martial arts. We love it. It's a lot of fun. We'll do that probably through the 6 weeks as well. But like I said, those are the 3. The first one, not great at all. 2 and 3, very effective, work very well. And so I just want to encourage you guys to write down what you're going to do. I'm not going to do 1, but I'm not going to do anything at all. Totally cool. Or I'm going to do number 2, or I'm going to do number 3. Now, if you join us, I want you to go ahead and put fall shred in the comments. Then I'll just write this in now. Make sure to drop fall shred oops, in the comments if you want to join us next week. I think it'll let me pin that. Hopefully it'll let me pin that comment. We'll see. Should be able to. There we go. So you'll see in our comments for this video, make sure to drop Fall Shred in the comments if you want to join us next week. We'll need by Wednesday. So that's by Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which should be, oh no, I think we've got a couple months until we switch back on our daylight savings. So make sure to do that. And if you are going to join us, let me know. You can reach out to me here, or you can reach out to us on our social medias. We're all tagged. Check us out at Project Fresh Coaching on Instagram. We'll connect and go from there. But this is Ryan Sanders at Project Fresh. We do this Monday Lunch Live every single Monday, unless it's a holiday or something else is going on that I just can't be here. And we cover things like this, like how to lose fat correctly. There's a lot of people that are teaching different things out there that, you know, maybe for their pocketbook or maybe just because they don't know or haven't experienced it or whatever it is. But I can tell you one thing. For example, I had a friend that would take magnesium citrate, the liquid, and pound an entire bottle and be like, all right, I'm on the timer. I'm going to be going and praising the porcelain throne or sitting on it anyway for all day long. That is not a great way to lose weight. Just like I said, high activity, low eating, that is not sustainable. You're going to make yourself, you know, skinny fat or have very little muscle tissue. It's going to make you frail. It's going to drop your immunity. It's going to set you up for injury. It's just not beneficial. It's not worth it. So if you want to do this well, that's what we cover. And like I said, we have thousands of hours of coaching. We've worked with people, hundreds of people on this. We know it works at the end of the day. So let us show you how to do that and come help us test this new app. Okay. That being said, we'll see you guys next week for Monday Lunch Live. We'll be talking about everything, getting set up. We might even share our screen to show you some of the different things we're playing with and learning. So we're really excited about that. We'll see you guys here soon and hope you have